It took 3 remakes of the lobby, but we are finally ready to get underway with game number 2 between the Abbasid Mains and Vietnam Legends. And I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to dispense with the pleasantries and get it on my screen just in time for us to probably crash again. Please, for the love of God, don't. Here we go. Hillendale. China, the only same choice on both sides. Vietnam Legends playing basically the meta right now. China, HRE, the 2 best civs on this map by far. Practically everyone picking them. Amazing to give you that flexibility into wonder victory. Also, you have that scalability courtesy of these easy to control choke points. Rounding it out, they will have the Mongols. We mentioned that ACCM, it was going to be available to him because they didn't pick Mongols in game 1, remember. On Dry Arabia, they decided to go with England. Mongols are fantastic in this type of layout map, mainly because usually you're against HRE and you're able to keep sniping them out when they try to gather the relics, and you set up a lot of infrastructure in the midfield. Problem in this game is they're not up against HRE. This game's quite the spin, guys. It's a curveball and a half because Puppy Paw, well, he is going to have the comparative on the other side of VNS Cool, but the other 2 to round it out, they're not baiting us anymore. Abbasid Mains are Abbasid Mains. EmzeeShady in the center playing as the Abbasids, and then rounding out on the flank, they are now going for England. On this map as well, I'm wondering what the play is, because there's a few variables to consider here, right? If you look at all 3 of these choices, a lot of people get baited into thinking that these are like very kind of, greedy, eco-boomy civs, right? China likes to build multiple TCs. Abbasids like to just build even more TCs than China does because they can afford it easier with fresh foodstuffs. And they just boom up and they look for late timing. And then everyone's like, wow, Abbasids suck. They don't have anything great. Camels are useless. Why did I go all the way to the Imperial Age? Well, I'm here to teach you a lesson. There's another way you can choose to engage with. Abbasids are actually very strong in the early game if you choose to go for it. And being 1 game up, they could gamble on this. Considering they have England, Abbasid, and China, this composition is incredibly oppressive in the feudal age. We've already seen once in this tournament, Beastie utilize China like the Mongols, pseudo-Mongol them basically, where you move into the enemy base and you drop outposts, right, after dropping your Barbican Sun next to their base. That is an option. That is an option that can be backed up by Wham on the English longbows being stronger than anything else that's going to field at this point, which can easily defend you as you drop the buildings. And then rounding out, the Abbasids can be your boomer up into a quick castle and then arrive on the forefront ready to seize through with access to mangonels in the field. So we'll see if they opt for that. There's going to be a few minutes before that kicks in. In the meantime, the Khan is going to be frustrated as ACCM is the only one here, and we all know how stupid this is. I think a lot of us can agree that this is an absurdly dumb thing about the early game. It's only 2 damage or 3 damage in this game. Like, wait, what? I'm on villager. Yeah, 2 damage. But it adds up, right? It forces you to awkwardly shuffle out your villagers 1 by 1. Unless you're like the HRE, you have no way of healing them. I wonder if it would be more reasonable to start him off with a sword and then upgrade him into a bow and feudal. I don't know, though. I don't feel like it's absolutely oppressive, and I don't feel like dark to feudal lasts long enough that you should be that frustrated by the 2 damage. But it is a variable that Mongols have that no one else has access to, and it can be frustrating, especially if you're talking about in the early phase of the game in Dark Age, where someone's trying to rush you with the outpost. I think that's where it enables it. Because you're ranged as well, you're able to very easily like dodge out the spearmen, snipe them down. If villagers come out to counter villagers, you can actually harass them. It just seems a little bit too good, even if it is only 2 damage on this Mongol. So tech ups are going to begin. Puppy Paw already ready to boost up with his. And there has been no sneak. I'm not too surprised by this. I think the one thing that's deterring them from doing that Barbican Sun rush next to the opponent's base is you are up against Mongols. And Mongols can do this. Look at the scouts coming out. He's spamming scouts. Main purpose of which is if he can raise any exposed buildings, he will do so. But otherwise, he's just looking to snatch the deer away from their base after going to pro scouts, as he should be the only one doing it in this game. Although there is the option for Bact to also delve into that, as HRE players typically do. But right now, they might have some opportunities to cause hell here, because Puppy Paw has been a greedy little doggy and is going into the Imperial Academy, is not dropping the Barbican Sun at the choke point, does not have a defense force here. Khan, in the meantime, just being frustrating, wasting the scouts' time. Baits him in. Remember, scouts do more damage against scouts. And I do agree that this Khan does scale to ridiculousness. I would love to see them add in some hero-type units for other civs, because I like the way they went to a certain extent with Khan. I think like Mongols themselves are too strong right now, but the whole concept of these maneuver arrows, attack speed, just activatable abilities to me sound really good. I'd love to see more of them in Age of Empires 4 as the months go on, especially when we start getting new civs and potentially new units in existing civs. Tech-ups are starting to come through. Wham does reach his. Shady as well. A lot of pressure coming out onto Puppy Paw, but I don't think this was like intentional in their game plan. Considering he built an Imperial Academy, if he was expecting to be harassed early on, he should have been building into the Bargain of Sun. Instead, now he's feeling the pressure. As ACCM will burn through the mill. And you will have to peel back all these sheep. You won't get the value on the deer. And also, remember, when you set fire to the structure, you do get 50 food and gold as the Mongol player. And he's already dropping the outposts in with the oppression. And reinforcements won't arrive anytime soon, right? Longbows don't move fast. At the same time, neither do the Abbasids who are going to be producing spearmen. But what they can do is counterattack straight in towards the HRE player. But the HRE player is already trying to wall up, which is now being interrupted by Wham. Puppy Paw trying to give himself that flex to just scale up his economy. Is going to look to boom into a second TC as quickly as possible. Impressive if he can pull it off, considering this under fire element to the game for him right now is going to escalate, right? The Mongols are going to send more problems your way because they've already found a chink in your armor. And now they're going to try to thrust through and stick that sword deep in your heart. Longbows, although they will take a while to arrive, their initial impact will be higher than that of the scouts. Outpost already going down. This is really frustrating, by the way. Your villager line is very easily exposed here. So even if there's a tree line in the way, the thing you have to remember is the Khan has access to the Falcon. It's a very underutilized ability, but we've seen a lot more of these high-level players recalling its value and then flying it up in the air above these tree lines. And if you do that, you're able to snipe away these villages very quickly. When you talk about arrow slits and a max garrison, you look away from your base for a minute as Puppy Paw and you've lost everything. And he should know better than to do so. Puppy Paw, remember, he's a Mongol spammer. He loves doing exactly this oppressive strategy being used against him. So let's see if ACCM's irony is going to be a critical hit. Because right now he's not able to get up the second outpost. He's still trying to raid and keep him off the goal, but second TC is going down. Puppy Paw looking to scale later. In the meantime, the army is amassing on the east side. You can see them moving in. And HRE not ready. Bact is not that close to the tech up yet. Instead, VNS Cool is playing insanely greedy here. 1 TC, and he has enough to go castle if he chooses in a sec. This is kind of a crazy skew on timing. Usually Bact should be ahead here. The HRE player should be cracking it up. But a little bit of a diversification here. Now, admittedly, getting China quickly into the castle stage could be cool for like Palace Guard or even just going straight into the Fire Lancers. But it looks like that's not the case. VNS is now going to go back for the Imperial Academy. And VNS still hasn't shown any signs of getting on the stones, so no scalability on the TC front. It's just going to be Song Dynasty with one of these. And I think his intention is to go straight into the Duke Nu to shred straight through this combination of Spearmen and Longbowmen moving into your base. Meanwhile, scouts around the back. ACCM kind of hit that marker he was looking for, right? He's found some pressure now. He's boxed his opponent in. He forced him with a very defensive TC. And there shouldn't be much more he can access. But he's trying to get more of these outposts up. Oh my, he can't quite get it. He has to back away. And the frustration for Puppy Paw is he can't really hang around with this many spears to burn through it. It takes so long. But he has to commit now. He can't risk that going up. If he walks away, he'll come in, tap the hammer twice, and it'll be done. Meanwhile, north side. Wham is in. Wrapping around. Let's see what all this Strelbora can do. It's going to be a feudal age ram rush. Remember, MZ could have done this even sooner. The power of Abbasids is you can go for a dark age rush with the rams, but he waits for the feudal. He gets a decent number up, and now they can start to push in. I would absolutely love to see Shady maybe just move up and drop a Rax, but I don't think that matters now. The Spearmen are just here to build. That's all they need them for. Wham waiting. Walls attempted to be put down by Bact. Bact now trying to go into the Redix Cathedral. He needs to be fast, though. These rams are not quick enough from Shady. I don't like the timing on this. They could easily get punished at this rate. There's already a stable down. You have got spears out, so knights wouldn't be an option, but I think you need to drop an archery range as Bact, or you need reinforcements. The problem is right now, VNS isn't doing anything. He actually did scale up. He went for the castle age in the end, but he doesn't have any units out. He's building a nest of bees, but that's going to take ages to roll across here. You could easily lose 2 of your landmarks in the time it would take you to arrive with a substantial force. And a substantial force is being applied inside this TC now from the ram. A lot of fire coming its way. More rams now being built in the meantime. ACCM trying to switch over and apply pressure across onto Shady's economy. Shady hasn't protected himself at all, though, so this could hurt. Meanwhile, Puppy Paw now looking to scale. Goes to the Bargain Sun. He's going to have a very strong economy. And that's their backup plan. If this fails, if they can't get for the HRE's base, they'll at least have this to fall back upon later. is the fact that Puppy Paw can carry them later on. The Chinese side can be very effective. But keep in mind, he's already being matched and outpaced by VNS Cool. So he's in recovery while VNS is in scaling. And I don't like how that matchup goes. You know, if you're talking about Fire Lance versus Elite Fire Lancers, it's a complete wash. Here we go. Emergency repairs already used by Bact. Longbows have raided away. No! Bact, he gets prevented on the Regnant's Cathedral. They move too quick for him. ACCM moving across now. He has the same amount of archers, though, so Wham has the edge here. Oh, my. How the tides have suddenly turned. How the turns have tabled. And Wham starts stepping away. Nesta B's too exposed, has to retreat away from this. That's going to give the space to push in on the TC again. Rocket Fire coming out. Rocket Fire that can't get for the ram quick enough. The attempt to build again interrupted back. He can't get it up. In real life, there's a pill for that problem. In the game, there is not, and I don't know how he's easily going to recover from this. The TC's almost down, and once that happens, the floodgates will open here. Oi, oi, oi. Any attempt by ACCM to get in is a complete fat fail. And here we go. Ram's about to finish it off. He has to commit to the Regnant's Cathedral. He actually has to repair, though. The Ram's about to finish it. One more tap would get rid of it. Moves in with the spears. B-Fire is good, but not good enough. TC's down. Needs to repair it. Longbows can start spamming now. They can reign supreme. They need to be careful with the Nesta Bees. Rams trying to work on this. Emergency repairs coming up. The TC is still shut down for the moment. And with the investment, the villagers back is running out of eco quick, down to 23. Going to fall below the 20 mark at this rate. But Cool, keeping him in this game, keeping his cool with the double Bs is able to force Wham away. And the spears, they're backing up entirely. Shady doesn't want any of this. Ram, meanwhile, is going to be spent in the end, so they do repel them. But a lot of pressure applied, a lot of attention drawn, and now the sacrifices. Wham! This is not the way to do it. Losing the trickle in of Longbowmen as they get picked one by one, and now ACCM with a superior number of archers can start to threaten here. Meanwhile, Puppy Paw still not participating. That's the difference. He got pressured too hard. He didn't look to get a full base. His spearmen running across are going to be too late. And it means this attempt to shut out Bact is going to be a fail. He completes the Regnant's Cathedral. He rebuilds the town center. And he is going to be back online. With a big dent into his economy, but a way to scale nonetheless. Meanwhile, looking to scale himself. Wham drops the secondary TC, looking to boom up. Also secondary TC coming out from Shady. China still sitting on one. Cool had to invest heavy at that point into the Nesta Bees. He wasn't prepped to go scaling on the town center side. But neither is ACCM. ACCM had to invest a lot of his early economy into that archer spam. Some of it offset, mind you, by being able to afford it courtesy of the Uvu, but still, a big dent in your progress nonetheless to stop off that many archers. Nesta Bees still pushing out. Wham, this cruel retreat ain't good. Meanwhile, ACCM, oh no, the micro. All right, he's going to lose a lot of archers here. And these Nesta Bees are going to be too slow. The Longbowman can retreat away successfully. And Shady not looking for a wrap round. He hasn't got enough troops to actually stab through two Nesta Bees. Remember, they're very tanky coming out the clock tower. They get an additional 50% health. So it takes quite a bit to breach at this stage in the game. Bact finally looking to move out and gather up those relics. Where are the closest ones, though? He actually hasn't got a great spawn for this. He's got one here, and that's about it. The rest are going to be contested, especially with this early land force coming out from the lads in the south. I just realized I never had the overlay up. Apologies for that. For those who just joined and are confused, yes, that is right. Wait, that's not right. Team's wrong way around. Good thing I didn't have it shown. Yes, for those who just joined, it is in fact the Abbasid Mains, the guys in the south. They're one game up over Vietnam Legends. Vietnam Legends on the edge of being kicked into the abyss. But they're starting to find a foothold in this game. And this all-in play coming out from Abbasid Mains was more impressive than the intent by Vietnam Legends in Game 1. But they need a recovery point now. The good news is there's a lot of ground to cover. The bad news is they're up against Palace Guard. And Palace Guard are Zoomers, as we can see here. As they will go to say hello to Wham. And Wham, so much open ground that he needs to retreat across. You just have to turn around and trade out what he can. Nicely done as well. These Palace Guard at this stage, only 3 missile resistance. This does hurt. So he'll just crawl all the way back. And is there a third TC yet? No, no third TC. Instead, he's getting into the stables. He's actually building the horsemen. A nice idea to try and take out the siege weapons. I'd love to just see a group of scouts, though. Just burn these down quickly. Once the Nestabes are gone, you can resume your assault. But if you want to do it, you have to do it right now. You wait 2 or 3 minutes. That's 2 or 3 minutes too long. And then HRE are going to be online. Meanwhile, Poppy Paul looking for that participation ribbon. Nestabes proving exactly how disgusting they can be. However, they will be gap closed, and they didn't leave a defense force here. Oh, that's pricey if you lose it. Spears trying to work on this. As Nestabes could end them, though. They need to actually focus fire on the same target, but no, they get both of them. Bang for buck achieved. Big mistake by Cool there. They split up on the Vietnam Legends side, and as a result, it's a costly, hefty price, as they do lose 2 of these. So that ends up being 600 resource each. That's over half your Castle Age tech up. Meanwhile, Longbows now being outnumbered. Nice line formation, wham, Sawn Point. This is big, guys. Do this. This is so useful. This is how you get the edge in range trades. Even when you're being pursued like this, if you get into the range line formation, it allows you to quickly shift further away. You formation shuffle, and also you keep maximum range at all times while keeping your DPS up. And that's what he's doing here. Really good. It also means if at any point ACCM tries to branch off top or bottom to escape, you'll be able to actually cut him off. Really cool idea by Wham. And it means he's getting really good trades out of these longbows. And he needs them as well. Remember, these longbows cost more than the archers. Even picking off some Palace Guard here. Oh, the Prelate! No, he baits himself with the formation, but he still gets him. That's an important one. Back denied. Remember, every time you lose a Prelate, you have to waste time building another one. It costs you 100 gold as well. It takes 20 seconds, and then Old Man has to go on a long walk. One from which, in this case, he was never going to return. Tech ups. Bact does make it up into the Imperial. Wham still hanging around in Feudal, though. Oh, no, no, no. He has got 3 TCs, so he should boom up very quickly. I wonder if he's trying to save the White Palace for like some Gambit play, but in the end he goes for a King's Palace. Not White Palace, sorry, White Tower. So yeah, he'll just play it defensive. That's going to be him scaling into 4 TCs, so he will boom up pretty hard. He needs to start like leveraging this, though. They need to push across. You can't be stuck waiting your high ground this long. They've done a good job of setting tempo in the mid-map, but now it's going the way of the Vietnam Legends, right? ACCM especially is going to dictate that flow, courtesy of his vet archers already out in the field. But here come the Lancers. Poppy Paw getting reasonable trades. Went in a little bit soon, though. I would have preferred he waited for 1 or 2 more of these Lancers. He would have been able to trade out most of these archers instead. Not the best of trades. And a forward base now. Look at this coming out from ACCM. A lot of players wouldn't do this, and it looks like he maybe lost one of the buildings here as a result. But this gives him a full base of operations. He also now has the fallback plan of the base Uvu if things go really bad. But I like that ACCM's doing this. This is playing to win, right? This is stationing yourself with a full base from which you can actually skirmish into the enemy side. If you have to run archers all the way across the field here, it's going to take 1,001 years to arrive. You have to weigh that into your decisions whenever you play on these 3v3 maps. They are huge. Wham, finally in the Castle Age. A little bit late, but definitely welcome. Although I don't think Bact feels that he should be welcome into his base, although this many horsemen is going to look to welcome himself in. It's going to take a while, and that should give time to actually mount a defense of some kind, but Bact still doesn't have anything. Oh my god. Well, this is insanely greedy. At this stage, Bact should actually really just be looking to drop 1 or 2 military buildings and push out some units. Horsemen shouldn't be able to do too much damage in this quantity at this stage of the game to you. But it can still be a little bit of anarchy in your base that you don't want when you're looking to boom up now. Because you are at 62, and here you go. He's trying to get the oh, no. The walls are not going to be quick enough. An ambitious move. Oh, wow. Wham's going to back away. He could have got in there. He probably would have locked himself in, but he could have traded out the horsemen for a decent amount of villages. I think the reasoning why Wham didn't want to do it is because Bact is an Imperial, right? So it's not cost-effective trades. Because remember, the Palace of Swabia, it gives you a 75% discount on the cost of villages and functions like 4 TCs worth because it builds them every 5 seconds. So you only pay 12 food. And if, let's say he gets through 10 of them, that's 120 food. That's basically the resource cost of a horseman, right? This horseman, it costs 100 food and 20 wood. Yo, guys, you know everyone wants HRE to be a bit stronger? I'm not saying that I'm a genius designer, but what about an option to arm the peasantry? Upgrade those shivs into swords. They now do 8 damage. What a cost-effective unit. You pay 12 food and it does 8 damage. Bargain. Okay, I'm gonna step out of the design mode. These are terrible ideas. I wouldn't mind seeing a civ that has the ability to like convert their villages though. I don't know if it would be too OP. It would definitely be a rushy type like strat. But it's cool to think about because we already have that with the Rus on the water, right? Where they convert their fleet and then get aggressive. I'm just spitballing ideas for new civs though. Should probably just do like a series of posts where I come up with terrible ideas. That would definitely be on the list. But we're some way away from that. We're just at the beginning of the Age of Empires 4 life cycle. We've got to balance out the 8 civs in the game before we think about juicy new ones. Although content does sell. Shady, now into the man-at-arms. He needs a forward base himself, and that's why he's getting the keeps down, a foothold in the center with which he can push forward. Crossbowman now coming out from ACCM. A lot of lances. What? Oh, Shady? Oh, he's turning around. ACCM's in too deep. He's gone commit. Outpost trying to be dropped quick enough. He's going to use the defense arrow to try and last longer here, but the Archer army is going to be picked apart. Horsemen and Lancers from 2 sides. ACCM caught playing with himself on the front line, and nobody is here to tank the responsibility with him. And you can see they were setting up as well. Bact was trying to get a forward siege workshop with which they could siege in. Instead, now he's going to be pushed back entirely. And with that, Puppy Paw recovery achieved. First player on the Abbasid Mains to make it up into Imperial Age, and this is where it gets spicy. You know what happens next, folks. They zoom, they boom. It is the Fire Lancers. And he will be building them en masse with that 30% discount courtesy of the Spirit Way. He has also gone for the double tech up, yes? No? No? Nani? Wait, he has, right? Grant, am I blind? Where's the clock tower? Ah, there it is. I am blind, thank God. I was about to say, if you're going into Fire Lancers, like, I was about to say, that doesn't even make sense. You should access. I was confused where the clock tower was. Yes. So he has obviously got that, which means he gets a Yuan Dynasty, which means he gets 1.72 movement speed on the Fire Lancers. As I said, zooming and booming. I don't know how I missed the clock tower there. Don't at me, okay? Yes, I wear glasses. Thank you. Mock me more. All right, let's move into the fights, because there is a fight going on right now. Shady moving out is going to start the Siege Workshop. And this forward base is going to be exposed quickly. They need to reinforce, which is why VNS, with his elite Fire Lancers, is going to start to engage. The Horseman will back off on Wham. Wham needs some sort of transition. Look at this play! Look at this play, Wham! He's like, yo, cool. I heard you aggressively box your palace in the center of the map. Let me draw you a map and show you exactly how it's done. Berkshire Palace down, in position for a forward base. Wham is about to ramp up into ultra-aggressive mode. And now they need to get in quick. They even need to come across and counter this, which might be difficult. Remember, the Berkshire Palace is no small feat to get through. With the additional 50% range, it can snipe out practically anything attacking it, even bombards. The only way you can stop that is if you are China and you decide to go straight into heavy load of bombards to get through it before it gets through you, right? And you can do it quite effectively courtesy of this. The reload drills, giving that extra reload time, yeah, it can give you the edge. And with the additional 50% health, mwah. But you do need a clear path. And I don't think you're going to get a clear path, because look at this, Wham. Dropping the stables now. He can upgrade into Elite Knights and look to just charge in. He's getting everything. The diversification as well. I respect this. Wham. He's building a composite force on his own in games where a lot of the time, people bring composite between them, right? For example, Cool, all he's going to do for the rest of this game is build Fire Lancers. That's his goal now. That's his role in the team. Whereas Wham is trying to be multiple things at once on his own. He's running his own commando force, and he's sitting right outside Bact's base. That does mean you need to buy time in the center, and Bact is already moving out those Elite Knights, cleaning up the pathetic showing coming out from Abbasid Mains right now, as they just do not have the quality to match this. Shady, he's in trouble. He just completed his tech up. He's going to look weak right now. Look at how many Lancers are here, and when you see this, when you're cool, you're keeping your cool until you see that. And now you're going crazy like, oh my God, he just teched up. I'm at his base. I am going to run right through there. Straight into his base. Gets rid of the expansion and can easily look to breach here. Needs to get through the stone walls though. Instead, he's wrapping north towards where Wham is. And Wham himself looking to go further north. Bombards looking to breach the stone walls quickly. A lot of open ground and then a lot of vulnerability because remember, Bact, all of his landmarks are incredibly stacked here. And they are on the forefront of this assault. He needs troops in place and he needs them soon. Cool is at least keeping reinforcements away, keeping this to be a 1v1. But they're going to need assistance. Meanwhile, push out. Puppy Paw. He says, any raid you can do, I can do too. They equal out each other out on the Elite Fire Lancers. They don't want to engage directly with each other. So instead, now Puppy Paw stripping away those central bases that gives a foothold for Vietnam Legends to reinforce quicker. Meanwhile, on the north, Bombards are breaching through. They're even getting rid of the gates for some reason. I don't see why we want to waste time. Go, mush, mush. You're on the clock here because look what's wrapping around the back. Cool is coming. More wolves going down, though. He needs to be quicker with this. Wham! Why? Wham. Please. No, no. Oh, my. Help. Send help. The keep sees it. Oh, my God. He just got saved. Wham. He can get the wall up. That would have broken him as well. The keep distracted Cool from raiding straight into the primary base, and the wall will get complete from Wham. And now he is going to ride straight into Bact's base. Oh my God. If that decides this, if that detail is the difference here. Well, it could be. Bact, he needs assistance right now. He invests all the villagers in getting that keep up. He knows the TC is going to be down. He can't really afford to let the Regnix Cathedral go down as well. Look at his gold right now. He's getting 900 gold per minute. And if we look at the numbers right now, that's half of his gold income per minute. Gone. So we can't allow that. However, the elite longbowmen are in. And although there's a lot of range resistance on these knights, it still hurts. 12 damage per shot. Villagers riding forward trying to do something. I don't even know what. They're offering themselves up as tribute to England here. I know I said convert them into melee form should be an ability, but it doesn't exist yet. Calm down, Bact. Bombards are exposed, though. He actually breaks the walls. He moves out. These Bombards need to retreat. Too many knights here. He needs reinforcements. Puppy Paw is arriving, but he's slow to do so. They hold it at choke point. Beautifully done by Wham. He can't min-max the line. Look at these knights. He breaks more walls, though. He wraps around. But just as he does, Puppy Paw finally arrives. The Bombards, they need to snipe out these knights. They need to convert this into a win. They cannot let up. And look at the attention they're drawing. ACCM and Cool sending all their troops to the north side. They cannot ignore this any longer. Meanwhile, a raid still going on. Cool in the center, moving across here. This fort base is not looking like it's going to last long. Shady just skirting him. He can't directly engage. He's going to turn now, though. He has got the camel archers. They are reducing the damage to fire lancers by 20% due to the camel unease. But he doesn't have the damage to follow through and turn on him entirely. He needs assistance, and that's what's now coming in. Elite fire lancers from Puppy Paw. They're trying to get rid of this central force so they can flow across, and then they can expose them on multiple fronts. Because right now, Wham is drawing a lot of fire, but he's about to be on fire. Literally, not figuratively. Because this fort base is about to be exposed. And it wouldn't take them long to counterfeit it as well. Right now it has value, but he can't contest multiple players on his own. He's trying to build into more infrastructure and get more troops out. Hand cannoneers on these walls will buy you a lot of time. But you are going to have to act fast here. Meanwhile, Southside Puppy Paw moving out further. TC is going to be spotted in a second as ACCM is getting very greedy with his expansion. Uh-oh. Nice try, they say. That's too much value in the center of the map for you to be allowed. With only a few spearmen here to guard, that is going to be a failed attempt to get TC down. Minus 900 wood for ACCM. And look how quickly it dies. Bye! Meanwhile, on the other side, Wham! Spotting out ACCM with the siege workshops here. Needs to get through them quick. EmzeeShady riding deeper. There's a bunch of Bombards already here. Bact has a centralized base with the siege workshops. They're surrounding, they're breaching. They're trying to get in on Wham, but Wham has rebuilt his forces, and this time it's not longbows, it's hand cannoneers. These hand cannoneers incredibly slow, though, and only 4 tile range can be weak. Needs to be careful. And also, 150 health, no melee resistance. The fire lancers can kill you if they ever reach you. And they might reach you. No, the micro! Oh my God, he gets in the way. That's very important. Brunts half the damage, but that would have instantly wiped half the hand cannoneers. Hand cannoneers are not cheap. 120 food and 120 gold each. It's important that that gets dodged. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to replace your army quick enough. Here come more fire lancers. And I love this from Wham. This is so smart. He uses the hand cannoneers to get through everything, and he just uses the horsemen as cannon fodder. Speaking of cannons, those cannons now being assaulted. That's the wrong choice, though. No, Cool. He's trying to go after the cannons, but he needs to get rid of the hand cannoneers. The cannons are able to retreat in time, and now all of a sudden the Elite Lance is going to be wiped. Meanwhile, Knights now arriving. Hand cannoneers slowly retreating away. They can turn around and fire. They do a lot of damage. There it is. Horseman getting in the way. Cannon fodder once again blocking him out. The Elite Horseman 128 health, 180 health rather. Holding them back for a little bit, and he's on the walls. And now Bact needs to retreat away. Very fast. I will say Wham made a mistake here, by the way. There is no buffed attack speed coming out. He didn't actually put outposts down, so he's not getting network at castles. He missed out on a lot of attack speed here that would have made an even bigger difference. And now he's breached. They're moving in onto the Berkshire Palace. A lot of Knights here. He needs to move across quickly, trying to build up into the keep. Reinforcements are not arriving, though. Instead, they're trying to hold the enemy back. You can see Shady is being engaged by the Fire Lancers and outnumbered, so he's going to die there. Wraparound attempt as the gold is being extracted won't work. Wham has walled himself in here. So he has economy for the moment, but the Knights riding in onto the keep, trying to get rid of the villagers. The hand cannon is holding the choke point. Bombard sniping through. The trade is decent for the moment because now in these choke points, Bact can't utilize his Knights to the fullest. He can maybe reach those bombards. He needs to be fast, though. The Spearman just AFK sitting on the spot. Wham never upgraded him, only in hardened status. Hand Cannoneers will hold, though. In the choke point, they reign supreme, and Bact is going to lose the cavalry division. He'll try and get out with what little he has left, but they are going to be spent and burnt. And the Hand Cannoneer army is ranking up. There's even more of them coming out very quickly. Meanwhile, West Side, we haven't checked in a while. 4 bases now being dropped by ACCM. He's trying once again to get that TC down. It's not working, though. Puppy Paw trying to burn it down, but with the Elite Spearman here, it's just too difficult. You're getting kited a lot. You're getting scurried away a lot. And it looks like he'll just try and distract the best he can before getting wrapped on by Cool here. So these raids in the West still not achieving anything. Wham! So far, really just keeping Abbasid Mains in this game. The other two are kind of running around like headless chickens, responding to all the anarchy in the center. Never able to really get that full foothold, but maybe now it can change. Shady, he finally moves out. He gets the 4 base down. This is important. The Abbasids, your troops move incredibly slow, right? You need these 4 bases, more so than any other player in this lobby right now. So it's critical that he gets this up and keeps it up. And this is what's going to enable him to do so. Puppy Paw, dropping the walls, layering himself now to prevent them from easily being able to snipe in and siege out these 4 bases. And they'll have the time for it as well. Wham is drawing a lot of attention. Hand Cannoneers moving in. Not very good against keeps, wouldn't recommend it. Just using them as cannon fodder units in a way. But with a few Spearmen drawing fire and the Bombard firing from the back, he will eventually get through this keep. Knights riding across again. No flank coming in from the north. Just a small group of Mongol troops here, not really doing anything. I like the switch up from Wham. If he double down in the base again, backfires, he probably can't rebuild quick enough. This way, he's trying to get rid of the 4 bases and reconnect with his teammates. Because right now, he's out in no man's land, and he needs reinforcements. Bombard is about to put an end to this keep very soon. Repairs coming out. The Hand Cannoneers, they're not in position. And here come the Fire Lancers, and a big mistake from Wham. This time around, he doesn't have that front line. However, bigger mistake being made from Cool. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Cool, he'll turn around for the charge now. Many more casualties than should have been impacted upon him there, though. It's still cost effective, remember, because these Fire Lancers cost a lot less due to the Spirit Way, reducing their cost by 30%. And the Hand Cannoneers just being so premium, right? Costing 120 food and 120 gold. But still, very suboptimal here. The anarchy's setting in as they're trying to keep track of everything across the map. Cool trying to go for these snipe outs on the side to limit the resource gathering, right? Means he misses out on this optimal play in the fights. The good news for him right now is he has a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room to keep exploiting the economy side, and he's in the meantime at least shutting out Wham, and that's the important detail. England needs so much on the resource run because of this greedy choice to go into Hand Cannoneers. And also, now, the infrastructure being burnt, Puppy Paw, his front line never came online. And it was too pricey to do so as well. With this positioning, he was never likely to invest over here, because remember, if he doesn't need the Spirit Way, it's a 30% discount, and that's what he wants to do. Burn through. Back into the longbow and not able to afford the Hand Cannoneers en masse anymore. Bombard's now pushing out, this time onto the keep once again. And counter Bombard's now coming out from Bact from his siege workshops. He's finally utilizing the wrapping coming from the Knights as well. They can turn straight onto the Hand Cannoneers, so there will be an early retreat. Veteran Spearman still not elite status coming out from Wham. He's 2 gold capped at this point, even food capped as well. Meanwhile, in the south, raid coming in once again from Puppy Paw. Looking to burn down what he can, but it's so split. There's no true chaos to this. Here's the main army. But the Spears are countering him out. He can't do anything on his own. Meanwhile, in the north, Wham is about to be breached. There's too many troops here. He needs some spread damage, and he lacks it in all regards right now. No Mangonels, only Bombards. Hand Cannoneers in small quantities. And the front line is about to fold. These Knights will breach this time around. It's just a matter of time. More Horsemen into the breach. Hand Cannoneers having to duke it out with the north side as well as the Mangonels and the Battering Rams coming into play. ACCM with the flank attack, putting the pressure on Wham. And Wham, how long can he hold here? He needs relief, and he needs it yesterday. Shady's almost there. But it's only Camel Archers. Camel Archers can't siege through this infrastructure. They can't stop the production of new units. Bombards in the meantime looking to retreat behind the walls. More units coming out. Berkshire Pass is holding strong for now. Can't even stop extracting the gold. And there it is. The wonder is online. Cool has set the win condition. 15 minutes, and then it will be Vietnam Legends in control of game number 2. This one's looking like it's going to go the mile. No easy win going to either side at this rate. But I think the thing that everyone's been sleeping on is so far, Shady hasn't really been in this, right? He's been kind of existing, but now he's online. And look at the match timings! They actually synced it up! Oh my god! No wonder we didn't notice it at first. They got perfect timings. What? Holy cannoli. I don't think I've seen this before. They perfectly match timings, at least according to the counter. Maybe I'm off by a second. Maybe that's going to be the difference here. But both of them have triggered the timer, and both of them are on the clock because they don't want this to end in a draw if that's even possible. Looks like it might be at this rate, though. Both of the Chinese players being the ones to trigger it as well. Oh, look at this. There's a difference here. Do you notice the difference, guys? Look what you got access to. Cool, if I'm not mistaken, can build Grenadiers. I mean, he got the Spirit Way. He got the gate. He got the Great Wall. Is there any intent to go Grenadiers? Grenadiers could be pretty effective here, but you need someone to replace you as the frontline unit. Oh my god, the push in. The Zerg factor, Puppy Paw. He has the number advantage, but reinforcements have arrived for Cool, but is it enough is the question. The Bombard sniping through the gatehouse, doing so much damage. The double gatehouse play out of Puppy. Really effective here. Okay, my chat's replay analysis is split. Some people think that Cool got it first. Some people think that Puppy Paw got it first. So this could really be just a fractional difference of half a second maximum to see who wins this. And I don't think either team wants to wait around to find out. That's the problem right now, right? It's like, do you gamble it? No, you need to push it. You need to try and end. And the wraparound from Shady coming in. The engagement, the spears are in range. Reinforcements have arrived. Shady forcing the Fire Lancers away. Camel's still standing, reducing the damage of the Fire Lancers. He needs reinforcements. He needs relief. And here it comes, Puppy Paw, stabbing out the reinforcements, trickling in one by one from ACM. Fire Lancers breaching through on the north side here. South side is folding as well. Shady's army about to be wiped just as Puppy Paws gets through. Meanwhile, in the north, Wham, he has to retreat back. He's lost the full infrastructure. If anything, it's looking like Abbasid Mains have to gamble that they built their wonder first because they don't have many options to breach in the north anymore. And they need to actually find a way into the center that's been uncontested and fully under the control of Vietnam Legends for a long time now. So first of all, they have to breach the south. Question is, can they? Always mirror it up against the other Chinese Fire Lancers here. Never really getting that much ground, but the Fire Lancers, they're starting to make the difference. Getting through these Lancers so quickly in such a quantity. Puppy Paw, he needs to prove how magical his fingers are. If he pulls off the micro-godliness of plus 10 Bombards, optimizing their targets, he will be renamed the Magician by the end of this. He needs to be a Magician. To make ground through all of this, you would have to pull not just a rabbit out of a hat, but a bear. And that bear would have to be lobbed at ACCM. And ACCM right now lobbing himself at those cannons. Full divide, full in. And they're on top of him. But he just focus fires. Look how tanky they are. The extra 50% health, he doesn't care. He's trading out wherever he can. And if it gets that die, he can always retreat. Nesta B's not really getting maximum value. Puppy Paw with a forward attempt to drop a keep. It's going to be a whiff, though. Fire Lancers move in, and the Bombards will retreat once again behind the walls. And for those asking about a tie, I don't think a tie is possible. The way it should work is it's whoever got it down first will win, and it could be a tick rate difference. If they were perfect on the timing, there will just be a tick rate difference. And I think in that situation, speaking from like a programmer background, it might come down to something as trivial as the team that's labeled #1. If they were literally perfectly matched in terms of when they placed the monuments. The other condition is it might be if they built it at the exact same time, but they started building it sooner, it might come down to that. It depends on how they've coded it. I don't have access to the source code. I don't know exactly how they've done it. Well, we're going to find out this rate. What an insane game. Bact arriving over here, gets the forward, keeps down. Starting to make some progress over here. Sacred Sites trying to be capped up. You're running out of time for that to be your victory condition. In fact, you're past that threshold now. So Sacred Sites really won't make the difference here. Poppy Paw riding out. Spearman braced too soon. Baits him in a little bit, but there's no ground being gained here. This is quickly going the way of Hill and Dale, as it so often does, just being a wonder victory to decide it. But this has to be the first time that it's playing out in such a fashion. All Sacred Sites have now been capped, but that is irrelevant unless you can get rid of the wonder, because we're under the 10-minute mark on the wonder victory timer. Right now, we never actually got to talk about it, but these Sacred Sites are disgustingly in favor of Abbasid Mains. They just never bothered playing towards it sooner. And they'll regret this. If they had, the difference it would have made here. Especially with Wham being in position. If he walled up and defended this himself, and then you just cover the two central ones with these two players, and then weave back and forth, there's potential there, right? But instead, it just might be decided by something as trivial as a tick rate on a server. Poppy Paw. Still no progress. This is a line that's been drawn, and a new line's about to open when he finishes this wood line, and he has to get all the wood he can. In the meantime, Cool trying to set up a new base over here. Spears moving out from Wham with the wraparound. Stabby, stabby. Resorting to the Spearman. Spearman quite effective at this stage, though, considering most civs are running cavalry. Not as effective as the Abbasid, mind you. It really is Shady's role in this game, remember, because he has Phalanx, so double the spears can attack the same target due to increasing their range by doubling it. But they have not got long. When you consider how much ground there is to cover, it's looking more feasible that Vietnam Legends can take control of this game. I don't know if capturing the Sacred Sites would have any effect on like that situation of the tick. Maybe it trips out the game. I mean, like, if you're gambling, if you know the exact timers are matched up like this, maybe you're gambling on some sort of weird, trippy behavior where because you have control of the Sacred Sites, you get control of the game in terms of a draw. But it's not going to last either way. Decaps are going to come out as Cool is going to remove that variable as a win condition. Legends playing for their tournament life here. One game down already, and this really could be what decides it, as there is still a complete stagnant stalemate. No one able to break through at all. Bombard count still in favor of Poppy Paw, so his walls seem impregnable, but it looks like they might find their way in a sec. He needs to repair quickly. Oh, he's about to be breached. They're going to flood through here quickly. Look at the prep. He's not repairing. The whole wall goes down. And just like that, they open a new front. ACCM charging in. Gets to the top of the Bombards. Bombards slow to turn around as well to counter this out. Spearman's in the meantime sniping him down that have been built up in the field by ACCM. And here comes the charge in. Fire Lancers prepping themselves. They're letting him overextend before they march in. They're going to sacrifice the spears in the initial fight, force them to stack up, and then ride in with their own Fire Lancers. And here they come. Straight in deep. Wrap around them, stop them from getting the charge impact off, and then burn down the entire artillery army. And Poppy Paw finally arriving with a secondary force out of position with these Fire Lancers, though. And they're attacking on the wrong targets. The keep's going to fall. They're forfeiting ground. It might not even have to come down to the ticker at this rate. Vietnam Legends are starting to gain ground. Poppy Paw riding out, trying to get rid of the Bombards. It's two players building these Bombards now, though, so he's getting outmatched. Flank attack is making some progress. Wham able to rebuild the hand cannoneer army with the Spearman in conjunction. Can match up reasonably well against Bact, but needs to be careful this gap close. Remember, HRE, their infantry move quicker. They can stick on top of you if you ever try to back up as hand cannoneers. And these hand cannoneers are not being min-maxed. They're targeting the same person with each volley, which means he's not getting the best trades in the world. But it is good enough. More infrastructure being burnt through. Wham making some progress in the north, but it is at the sacrifice of the south. They've breached through. They're moving forward. It's Mongol raid time. And Cool is there alongside him all the way to the bank. Here we go. Charging around the side, trying to get rid of the bombards. The repairs coming out. ACCM on point, making sure that he is not sacrificing his siege weapons the way that Puppy Paw did. Puppy Paw being punished for that heavy investment into bombards. You have to think, would this have been different if it was a few more nested bees? Would it have been different if he was in position? Definitely, that would have been different on the Firelance account. But the fact that he only ever had 1 nested bees and 10 bombards really did hurt him here. And he's starting to feel the pain of his mistakes. Wrapping on the west. They're sacrificing so much ground. They're giving access to Puppy Paw, but they're trying to flank in. Look, they're getting equally as close to this Wonder. They'll have to breach through the base of Cool and see what Cool does here. He drops walls, he drops keeps, anything to stagger them. Because they are slowly but surely moving across and getting closer to your Wonder here. And Wham is starting to move ahead of the pack. The score doesn't represent it, but with territorial control, he's definitely getting a lot of ground gained here. Camel Archers here. They were missing for too long. Really effective against the Spears. Remember, they get that bonus damage up against Spears. You can see how much it is absurd quantity. And also reducing the damage that comes out from the Fire Lancers. And this could be the difference. Like, Shady can actually win them these fights, but the problem is, do you have the time to stop the Wonder? That's the part that's going to matter at this rate. I think if Shady split his forces, has 2 group of Camel Archers supporting both fronts, he breaks his opponents. Because although the Camels are somewhat weak in the grand scheme of the meta, this Camel unease against so many Fire Lancers and so many Knights being spammed out can put a huge dampener on the power spike of both HRE and China on Vietnam Legends team. And they're raiding in. Well, this is a desperation play. It's more ground gained, though, and it draws the attention. You have to address it, right? So the Camel Archers will chase back, slowly, very slowly pewing down the Elite Fire Lancers. And Cool says, fine, I'll just go straight and do economy instead. Puppy Paw, perma-repairing, says, no, mine, my precious. Get away, you fat little hobbit. This is ours. You can't have it. It's not going into the mountain. It's not being burnt in the lava. You cannot take our Wonder away. We will gamble our 50-50 on the win condition. But that won't stop Cool from trying. In with more. Puppy Paw trying to cut him off now. Needs to get the walls built again very soon. Meanwhile, on the north side, they're getting close. Look at the progress. Wham. Needs to go faster. Va-va-voom, he says. Lancers in. Burns down one of the cannons. They need more bombards on the front. He actually needs that infrastructure. And he's starting to build into it. But he's not quick enough. He only got the archery ranges down. He's not working with the other villagers, so he's not rebuilding the siege army. It's only 2 bombards. Meanwhile, in the south, they successfully booted Cool out of their base. He's been forced back towards the center. And now it's all on Wham. They pass the baton. They salute him. They say, go forward. End their dreams. But with so many Fire Lancers here, how the hell do you end it? Fire Lancers don't allow dreams. They only allow for nightmares. And you are about to experience exactly that. As they Leroy charge straight in. Goodbye, hand cannoneer line. And that's a hard investment to replace. It's so costly to do so. He's trying to get more infrastructure down, but it takes so long for England to build this up. The keep does give him a forefront to buffer back from, and that's where he's also getting his bombards from. But it's slow to get them out. The horsemen were not in position. They did not body block this or tank the initial splash. And it means the hand cannoniers are struggling to hold this back. And that delay should tick you down. With only 2 minutes left, you've got too much base to get through. On both sides, in fact. Puppy Paw stabbing in once more. ACCM trying to make some progress here. But his army is slow. It is static. And these Camel Archers counter out everything he's doing. Under 2 minutes now, guys. I don't know how this is going to end. This is a true beauty. This is what you want out of a game. You don't want to know where it's going to go. But the reason behind we don't know how this one's going to end is what makes it so insane. Oy, oy, oy. I wish I could click on the Wonder and see a specific timestamp, but even that would probably show the exact same timing for both teams here. Moving in. Puppy Paw now in the front. He's reinforcing this. One last divide into the breach, but it's so hard to get through here. Look at this Puppy Paw, the strategy that he utilized now being countered and used against him by Cool as he uses the gatehouse to fire out the bombards from safety. And they're holding the choke point. And the wraparound from back, the stab in from behind will end their assault here. And with only a minute left to go, nobody knows how this is going to end in this entire lobby, in this entire stream. But we know one way or another, we are going to get an end to this game in the next minute. And it's so sad to realize as well, when you look at the way Shady's bounced back in this, imagine this game goes another 5 minutes because he's gaining so much ground now. Shady was going to be the dictating flow with his Camel Archer army. With another 5 minutes, I do think that Abbasid Mains could have taken this, but instead, it's going to come down to this. 15 seconds to go on the Wonder victory. And I know we just hit 2022, so it feels appropriate to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be a victory for Puppy Paw. They done it. It's a 2-0 victory, and what a brutal way for Vietnam Legends to be booted out of this. They will go down in flames, just a tiny bit too slow, and in the end, Abbasid Mains will take the series 2-0.